Brought to you by Penguin.
Supporting Cast by Kit Duval. Read by Kristin Atherton, Clifford Samuel, Simone Kirby, Sam Woolf, Damian Gildea, Vivienne Acheampong, and Daisy Badger.
Carol Rycroft, Bristol, 1981. A blinking neon sign promised bed and breakfast, budget rooms. On, off, on, off. Carol climbed the steps between the crumbling plasterboards and walked in. The hotel smelt of cigarettes and damp, and as soon as she stepped on the mat inside the front door, a bell rang and a head appeared through a hatch in the lobby. The head was round and hairless, and chamois leather beige. It wore a smile. "Help you, love?" A man leant on his elbows as though he expected a long conversation, but Carol wanted only a single room for the night. "First floor," he said. "Number 3, £7, or," he said, dropping his voice to a whisper, "top floor, private bathroom, no sharing nothing, and I can let you have that for a tenner today, 'cause we're quiet." He twisted his neck so he could see the little tartan case she had in her hands. "Visiting someone?" Carol nodded and slid her purse out of her pocket. She found a note and told him the first floor would be fine, and could she possibly borrow the yellow pages? He gave her a key and poked the fat yellow book through the hatch. "It's a bit out of date, sweetheart. Need anything in particular?" "Just looking," she answered, as if she was browsing through a rail of blouses. Her voice in her own ears sounded small and unconvincing, so she tried a smile. "I just want to see what's on," she added. "Oh, you should have said," said the beige man, and he unlatched a door and shuffled out. He was smaller than Carol, and she realised he must have been standing on something behind the hatch, something he kept for feeling tall and greeting customers. He pointed at a display rack on the wall behind her and began to rifle through some leaflets. "This is Bristol, darling, it ain't London. We got gardens and museums and art galleries. We ain't got palaces and we ain't got shows." Carol took the shiny bits of paper but kept hold of the yellow pages and thanked him for his help. "You need anything, love, you just trot back here to Morris. I'm your man. Morris." The room was small and dark, with wallpaper that had once been bright and busy. A blue nylon eiderdown hung unevenly on a single bed, and a wash basin in the corner of the room caught the noisy drip from an old tap. Carol went straight to the window, but it had been painted shut. She had no idea where she was. She couldn't see a single street sign, but she was in Bristol at least, and that made her 2 hours and 100 miles nearer Tony. She looked up the road as far as she could see. There were cars and vans and lorries creeping past and buses lined up like giant toys. It wasn't like her high street. The shops here, with their insides spilt out on the pavement. Boxes full of strange vegetables, dirty greens, dull reds. The noises and smells of the street coiled together and slithered through a long crack that ran across the window like a scar. Everything was loud. Everyone was moving to the rhythm of the bass belting out of the crawling cars and eating things as they walked along. Below her window, a Chinese man was dishing out cartons of fried food that smelt sickly sweet. Carol remembered Tina's stinging words before she left. "He's left you, Carol. You have to accept it." Suddenly she noticed a little boy holding onto his mother's coat. He was too near the curb. Carol wanted to bang her fists on the glass or dash downstairs, sweep him up in her arms and save him, never let him go. She realised then that she had her forehead pressed against the window and it had begun to mist up and everything was becoming blurred and fuzzy. She felt a stab of panic. Still in her coat, Carol sat on the bed and put the yellow pages on her lap. She found the pen and paper she had packed in her bag and turned to snooker halls. That's what Tony's friends had said, that Tony had a new job in a snooker hall. There were 4 pages of snooker halls, and just looking at them made her feel better. In one of those snooker halls she would find Tony. What a surprise he'd get.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?